I wrote this piece called The Room, Sierra Leone, after being inspired by a short documentary I saw today about the mudslide in Sierra Leone in Freetown in August 2017. Apparently it was the worst weather disaster this year, but also the least reported weather disaster this year, which actually horrified me and really angered and saddened me. So I wrote this because I was moved to, and I hope it moves you and inspires you in some way. So The Room, Sierra Leone. If the walls had eyes, they'd tell you every story known to man. They'd tell you not to give up and to believe you can. They'd tell you that you're not alone and you're not one soul. They'd tell you to live your dream and freely roam. They'd tell you all the lies so you would know the truth. They'd tell you that most of the lies need no proof. They'd tell you that what they've seen is a tragic display, to sidestep the black, white and step into the grey. They'd tell you that you matter and you're a quark. They'd tell you it doesn't matter whether you talk or squawk. They'd tell you that they've seen it all with their own eyes, whether you're a man that talks or a bird that flies. Live for a purpose of an energy that tries. Don't take it as gospel. Ask lots of whys and rise. And don't believe their truth as much as you don't believe their lies. When your heart cries that it's just not right, if you feel in your heart that it's just not right, this made-up system that encourages a fight or makes you want to fly behind a blindfold and see a man with no sight, suits a structure that wants to split the day from the night, when it's one world spinning on an axle that's slightly turned on its side. That's day and night, part of the same system, the solar system, right? Each one has its gift. Moon or sun both bring light. Rich versus poor cannot be day versus night, but man is now split between the rich and the poor, between the Hollywood Hills and the downtown crack core, between who can eat and who will starve, who will find 3 grains and who will carve, between who will prosper and who will thrive, between who will give up and who will strive, making opportunities and who will survive, between who is the passenger and who will drive. Shotgun ain't just a weapon of steel, it's a weapon of life. By not stepping up, you're letting the weapon be a knife, held hostage by the man in the driving seat, lure us like a pup with a false reality. We know better, and yet there is something so easy about the way it's all set, because it doesn't touch us. Well, maybe not yet. But let me tell you one place that's really hitting home, that's faced the consequences of this sick human syndrome. Civil war, Ebola, and now a mudslide. Sierra Leone, Freetown, nothing free when your heart's died. August 2017, 1,000 dead in a landslide. Bodies found weeks later by the roadside, on the shore side, in the seaside, dredged up by the high tide, low tide, a burial denied, face unrecognised and no outcry worldwide, and that's the divide. We've seen it before with the apartheid. Nelson Mandela rose above to override, and together he unified, and God bless him for he fucking tried. And through his efforts he modified a nationwide. But that still breathes like cyanide, a man that's too terrified, too nullified, too satisfied to give a shit about another man's ride, happy to eat the pesticide, cut down the trees on the mountainside. There's no way this can be justified, and it's happening now. We're taking the vows like a war bride, standing by the side of a worldwide homicide. That's right, we're all cockeyed, watching the fighters by the ringside, fighting a fight that's only verified by the small point of view that keeps us underside. Like the Incredible Hulk, liquefied, we give up our power when we reside in a state of mind not mortified by the destruction of our forests, not a problem magnified. What are we waiting for? The planets to collide? The current situation is suicide, and we're choosing it because we all want to hide. Nothing dignified about death, and we're part of the genocide. Because when a father leaves for work but rushes home in Freetown, Sierra Leone, to find no home where his loved ones roamed, now not in this world but somewhere in a dead zone, skin scraped off and broken bones by crashing boulders the size of monster stones, buried alive by the worst weather disaster this year, or washed away with the debris soaked in fear, and he comes back to a mass grave, digging for life and forming a cave where the emptiness mirrors his heart when he finds not a whole child but just a part. How can his life he ever restart? Oh life, he cried in despair, to a government ears closed, no time to care, to a forensics room where on the walls, piled high to 10 feet, the muddy scrawls of handprints in mud of the deathly man's calls. Handprints, I said, on the forensics walls, piled high 10 feet, and these eyes from these walls cannot retreat, unlike man who hides under the proverbial sheet, trying his own heart to cheat to the soundtrack of a dying heartbeat that underscores get into the fucking driving seat, become a part of the true elite, and this message retweet until we all rise up for the truth, endure the tapas, the heat, because what you don't use becomes obsolete. Make space for a true existence where love is complete. Sierra Leone, may those who passed rest in peace. The eyes of that wall have a story to tell that every man should know. Whatever it takes, whatever you have to let go. Don't let this story that its eyes have seen once more show something of this in the future. Let it all be long ago. My God, I hope so.